Eric, what did you like about the fight for the guys to be able to keep pushing on into the late stretches of the game?
Yeah, I just said in there, that's the team that we want to be, the team that you see in the second half that plays with a real dynamism and a real energy and plays forward quickly and presses well and counter presses well and keeps the ball in the opposition's box. And I think just the general baseline of energy and dynamism and fight that the team showed was one that we want to make sure is a benchmark from here. So I think it's disappointing that we've drawn a home game, particularly given I think the overall dominance, I would say, but in terms of a big step forward and momentum and something that we can really grab hold of as a performance, then that second half was exactly that.
What do you think about this team so far has been so resilient in all the late goals that you've scored? I think 5 of them in 87th minute or later.
Yeah. I think you always felt that if we could start the second half quickly, then it would be a sort of relentless attempt for us to try and get something, and I think it turned into that. And we have obviously got in the group a really hungry set of guys, a hungry set of forwards, and when they come on, they're willing and ready to make an impact, and they have done so far. And I think that's the strength of the group. I've mentioned it a couple of times that across those forward players, you've got a lot of variety and a lot of ways you can change the top of the team so it looks different. So I think Tani obviously he captures that really well. But I would say in general, the front players they did show that relentlessness, and if it wasn't for a touch of lack of quality at points and maybe not quite the cutting edge that we want on the final pass, then I think it would have been far more comfortable.
Eric, it looked like RSL was trying to come down your guys' left side. They did it early. They got the goal that way. And then the start of the second half, they were doing it as well and maybe weren't as clinical. What did you see from those guys, Rosales and Dev, to kind of fight through that?
Yeah, I think it was a shame because I think largely Joe, when he was in 1v1 situations on the right-hand side, he defended well. But unfortunately, the one time he didn't, and the opposition was able to get a cross in from that side, then we weren't nearly set to defend the box. So I think it was a disappointing goal to concede, but obviously, a real purposeful ploy of theirs that I think largely we dealt with well, but disappointing that it was so consequential on the occasion that we didn't.
Do you feel like you got what you deserved with the 1 point, or did you deserve more?
No, I think we deserve more. I think if you look at the balance of the game, and even if you were to look at it objectively on a stats base, we've had 25 shots, almost double their XG. We've had more possessions. So I think we've, from the perspective of the boxes you'd want to tick for a dominant performance, we ticked them. We just lacked that real cutting edge in the final third when we needed it. So I'm glad that we've got a point. I'm glad that we got some momentum, but I do think we deserve to win the game.
What have you seen from Tani and just kind of the poise that he has in those moments? Obviously, his goal at Columbus was before your time, but he had a couple assists late in games as well. What have you seen in kind of a knack and composure from him?
Yeah, obviously he's got there's a real athleticism there that I think makes life difficult for the back line. The second we win the ball, he's always looking to get in behind, and he's always looking to get in between the two central defenders, which is a really good trait for a centre forward. And obviously he's taken his chances when they've come. So it's a nice trait to have, and I think between him and Pukki, you've got two forwards with a different profile, both with a really good knack for goal. So hopefully at some point down the line we can start to see that on a real consistent basis, that we've got two forwards that are scoring regularly, and it'll make a big difference for us.
What was that key change at half to really switch it up, get into the final third after a kind of a slow first half?
Yeah, we were more dynamic on the sides every time we switched play. We looked like we had more purpose. We looked like we combined better. We were quicker on the side, so you saw it more so with DJ and Sangbin in the second half. I think Brand came on, and I think he added in terms of big switches of play and a real I suppose forward-looking mentality when he had the ball. I think that sort of captured the nature of the second half in general. It was just more dynamic, it was faster, we were more purposeful, and that's the team that we want to be.
What did you think of Bongi's first start?
I think Bongi's still finding his feet after obviously an inconsistent couple of months in the build-up to the last couple of involvements. So I think he had some nice moments, but certainly I'm sure he'd also say that he wants to be playing at a high level. He wants to be more consistent. He wants to show more quality. So it certainly wasn't for want of trying in his case. And I don't think he had a bad game. There was no particular reason why we took him off other than a roll of the dice and a change and some fresh legs. But he's a very good player. He's very talented. So I think we've got to set high standards for him, and he's got to reach them.
Sounds like Hassani has a hamstring. He felt his hamstring at halftime. Was that the reason for the change, or did you want to see something different?
It's
as well?
more precautionary with Hassani, so hopefully it's not anything that will stand him in too difficult a position for the coming weeks. But it was nice to see Bran, and I think he added without a shadow of a doubt.
What did you take on Joe's second yellow to receive the red?
I haven't seen it back, so I'll reserve comment on that. But yeah, I know the players' first reaction is that it seems soft, but I won't say anything solid until I've had a chance to look at it.
A similar situation for the PK for Songbin. You hadn't seen it. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen it back, but sort of judging by some of the players' reactions and the reactions of the staff on the bench that have got the iPad, it looked like it was a solid claim anyway.
Any more, Coach?
Good.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.